again, this is Chris at Chris Swift Studio, and today we're going to be going over some basic editing techniques in Final Cut Pro 10. Okay, let's get to it. Here I've created a new library, and I've imported some clips into the event browser, and here are all the clips I want to use. As you can see, I've renamed these clips to show the duration in minutes, seconds, and frames, and that's going to come in handy for us later. But let's take a look at some of these clips. Now, one thing you could do obviously is click on one, and if you want to bring it into the timeline on the main storyline, simply keyboard shortcut E. And there it is. Now it's kind of stretching out pretty far. I would like to fit the clip to the timeline. Bring my cursor down here and keyboard shortcut Shift Z so I can see every one of my clips and their duration fitting onto the timeline. Okay, now another thing I could do is, let's say I want to bring in this clip. Click on that one to select it, and keyboard shortcut again E, and that will, the E key will append the clip to the end of the timeline. And that's right here. You can press this button also, but I kind of like keyboard shortcuts. So you could do this for all your clips actually. You could just simply highlight all your clips, and by starting at the first one, shift click all the way down to the last one, and then just simply hit the E key. All your clips will come into the timeline. They're stretching out a little far. Shift Z, fit it all into the timeline. And if you want to go back, you can press Command Z to undo. Okay. Now, let's say I have one clip here, and I bring that one in with E. And now let's zoom in on this a little bit with keyboard shortcut Command plus, and that will zoom around where the playhead is. That's good. Now let's say I have this other clip, and I want to place it right in the middle of this one. Wherever you place your playhead, and with another clip selected, it's this one, W. Keyboard shortcut, and that will simply insert the clip wherever your playhead is. So I'll press W, and you can see it cut this clip, it bladed the clip, and inserted the other one. Okay. Now, let's say on this clip, I don't want the whole clip, I only want part of the clip. As you can see, there are parts of this in the beginning. Let's say I don't want that. I want to actually insert starting right there. Then simply skim. I'm just skimming now. I'm not clicking, dragging. Just skim over the clip in the event browser and keep it there. That's where I want to start it. And hit the I key. I sets the in point. And then it'll carry on all the way to the end of the clip. Now, I'm not sure I want that part. Then just hover over here. Now do a click drag, and you can see you can bring it back. And you can also see how the duration of this clip in that little box there to the left, 5:18, 5:10, 5 seconds, 10 frames. And we'll keep it right there. Now with that selected, I can hit W again. And that will bring in only that range of that clip in there. Command Z to undo. Okay, so here's how to set in points and out points on your clips if you've got some stuff that you just don't want to use. Okay, that's this one, the E to append it, the W to insert it. Now you might also want to do something like place a B-roll. Now, the B-rolls would be something like placing a clip right on top of the main storyline. Let's just take this one. And this one is going to be right here, and that's going to be the Q keyboard shortcut. And take a look at what happens. Press Q. It appends to the main storyline. Now, this is really useful. At least one way you can use these is, let's say you have a long clip of a talking head talking about, oh, I don't know, pollution problems and generating energy. And the talking head is talking, but then you want to cut to a shot of, say, a coal-fired power plant spewing out its sulfates and carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide into the air. Place that as a B-roll. Okay, you see this little connector line here. That means that it is attached to this clip. If you select this clip to delete it, well, that's going to also take away this one. They're kind of married at this point. If you want to place markers, we have another excellent video on adding markers to your clips. If you want to place markers to your clips, I've got nothing selected on the main timeline here, and if I press the M key, it automatically appends to clips on the main storyline. If you want to place markers on other clips, either above or below the main storyline, you've got to select the clip, place the playhead, and then press M to get your marker. Okay, Command Z to undo, Command Z to undo. And I kind of want those back together because I want to show you something here. I want to move this one over here. If I move this clip, you can see what happens. The appended clip on the B-roll goes with it. So again, they're married. And you can edit the endpoint by simply making sure you have the select tool selected. Hover near the end. You can see the red line. That means I'm at the very last frame of this clip and I can't drag it anymore because there is no more, but I can drag it in if I want. And same thing at the beginning. It's red because I can't go this way anymore, but I can bring it in. And then I can also click on it and reposition it if I want. Okay, and if I want to reposition it to a very, very specific place, like let's say I want to append that to exactly there, there's an easy way to do this, and it's the keyboard shortcut N, the N key. If you can also click over there for snapping, turn snapping on with the N key. So I will press the N key to get my snapping, and now I can drag this around and it will snap to that point, and I can be assured that the first frame will be exactly where my playhead is. Okay, now what else? Overwriting. Let's try some of that. Let me clean this up a little bit. I want to delete some of these. And now here's where my time is going to come in handy. I want to take, just for example purposes, an 11-second clip and a 17-second clip. So let me take the 17-second clip, press E, and now what I want to do is I want to overwrite part of this clip. Let me Command Z to just kind of zoom in a little bit, or I'm sorry, Command plus to zoom in just a little bit. Okay, and I have got, as you can see, a 17-second clip. Now I want to overwrite part of this with an 11-second clip. Now let's see, let's try to overwrite it at the very beginning. And what I would do here is keyboard shortcut D. So in fact, let me be a little bit more specific. Let me place this at exactly 2 seconds. And here's my 11-second, and the timeline is 17 seconds long, exactly that clip. So I come back here, press the D key to overwrite, and what happened to my timeline? Well, I am now still 17 seconds long. I simply took 11 seconds out of this clip starting here and overwrote it with this one. Okay. Now, what's going to happen if I sort of come to the end here? Well, I've got 11 seconds that I want to overwrite. I'll bring this down a little bit with Command minus. There we go. Let's say I'm at exactly, and what I'm doing here is I'm pressing the left arrow key to go 1 frame at a time. Okay. So now, this is 14, this is 17 seconds here. I've only got 3 seconds and I want to overwrite with 11 seconds. Let's see what happens when I press the D key now. Okay, still happens, and it just wipes out that last 3 seconds, but takes the entire 11 seconds of the clip. And obviously the same thing would happen if you decided to set an in point or an out point on any particular clip and overwrote it with the D key. Same exact thing's going to happen. Okay, now let's try one more thing here with this. Let's select this 11-second clip. Let's go up here and see what's going to happen. Now I'm going to pull this in a little bit on both ends, right to there, and right to there. And now I'm going to press the D key. And there it is, overwritten. But now, as you see from the range that I have selected, I've still got a little room to move here and on either side of this clip. So if I come down here and I see I'm not really happy with where that ended, I've got a little room to move. So I can click and let's see what happens. The timeline is extending. The timeline is getting longer because I'm pulling out more frames here. And there's the end of that frame. End of that clip, rather. And I have room on the left side also, so I can do this, and the timeline is getting longer, as you can see. Okay, pretty cool. Command Z, Command Z, Command Z, back to the original. Okay, good. Now let's try it the other way around. I've got a 17-second clip. I've got a long clip and I'm overwriting with a shorter clip. What if I have a shorter clip and I'm trying to overwrite with a longer clip? So let's go ahead and take my full 11 seconds here, E, and now let's do this one. Let's try to overwrite this one. Now this one is, okay. Yeah, 11 seconds long. And now I've got a 17-second clip. If I press the D key, what's going to happen here for overwriting? This overwrite thing is playhead sensitive. So let's put it right here. Let's put it right at the very end. I think I know what's going to happen. It's just going to take the last little bit of this and then overwrite the whole rest of the clip there. So I'm going to place my playhead at exactly, let's say, 9 seconds. Now I've got 17 right here. Press the D key, and there it is. It overwrote those last few seconds, carried on with the rest for the whole clip. Excellent. Okay, and this again is exactly 11 seconds long. So again, if you're going to overwrite even at the very beginning of your 11-second clip and overwrite with the 17 right where your playhead is, press the D key. It's going to save that first little bit, but then it's going to overwrite everything, and then this clip ends at 11 seconds, and then blah, 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 the rest of the clip that you brought in. Good. Okay, now that does overwriting. Now the last thing we're going to do here is replacing one clip with another clip. Let's try this a couple of different ways here so you can get the feel for what's going on. Here I've got an 11-second clip and I want to now replace with a 17-second clip. Let's see what our options are. Simply, no keyboard shortcut, click and drag. Bring it in, wait until the whole thing turns white. This is not playhead sensitive. It doesn't matter where your playhead is. You're just dragging over a whole clip here. And my option would be to replace. And pretty clearly, it's going to wipe out the 11-second clip completely and simply replace it with the 17-second clip. And there it is. Let's try this other option. What happens if we do this again? And we say replace from start. In other words, begin at the first frame of the 17-second clip and go all the way. Okay, now what's going to happen is look at your timeline now. you're at 11 seconds. So what you have done is you have said, when you brought in your 17-second clip here, you said, well, I want to replace this 11-second clip from the beginning, and now it's only going to stretch for 11 seconds, and then it's going to stop. The other option is bring in your 17-second clip, replace from end. Now it's going to kind of like back time. What it's going to do is take the last frame of this clip, and it's going to run up 11 seconds exactly, and you're going to be missing stuff at the beginning. Okay, perfect. Now, let's try it the other way around. I want you to get a complete feel of the timing for these clips. Let's say we're going to put in our 17-second clip, and now we want to do some replacing with an 11-second clip. So I'll bring in the 11-second clip pretty clearly. I'm not going to do this, but if you choose replace, then the 17-second clip will disappear and it will be replaced in its entirety by an 11-second clip. What if we do replace from start? Look at that. There is not enough media in the source clip to fill the range in the timeline. So what this means is you're asking the program to replace 17 with 11, but it can't do it because 11 is shorter than 17, so you don't have enough to do this. If I press continue, it would simply go default to a replace, and that original clip on the timeline would disappear, and your source clip, which is the one coming from the event browser, would replace it entirely. So if you've got a longer clip and you're trying to do the replace with a shorter clip, there's really only one option: simply replace. If you try to replace from start or replace from end, it ain't going to work because there's not enough. 11, doesn't fit into 17. There's just not enough for it. Okay, and that is about it for our basic editing techniques. And check out our other videos, which will go into advanced editing techniques, like, for example, how to modify clips and a whole lot of other really cool stuff that you could do. Thanks a lot for watching. We'll see you next time.